Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wednesday. Let's talk about the workout for today because we're going to have some fun. Starting out with the warm-up, we're going to do our typical dynamic range of motion. Be sure to check the video in the notes if you're not real sure what that is. I think by now we may be, but anybody new, you may not. So you want to check out that video and see what DROM, dynamic range of motion, means. Once we're done with that, we're going to move into 3 sets of 10 upright rows. We did something similar yesterday, but I'll give you some options here. If you have a dumbbell or a kettlebell that's kind of on the light side, you'll be able to do 10 upright rows on one side with each one. I have a 35 here in my hand. It's not too bad. If 10 is too much, go ahead and scale it down. I know we're working with very minimal equipment, most of us. Cool? If you have one that's too heavy, feel free to pull it up, or you can turn to the side and pull it up like so, okay? If you have a band, let's use a band. The goal here is to activate the shoulders a little bit because we're gonna be blasting them out later. Get your band and you can pull straight up like that. Excellent. Then once we get done with those, we have 15 standing tricep presses. We're gonna get old school with this. So we'll start over the top of the head, come down over the back, and then press it up from the side, down, up. If you don't have a dumbbell, you can use a box or a chair and do some box dips, straight up and down, right there. And then we're gonna hit some jump lunges where we touch the ground and then switch, or regular lunges, 3 rounds. All right, let's move into the workout portion. For those of y'all that may have enough equipment for this, minimal, even full gym setups, you got it made. We're gonna use a dumbbell or a kettlebell. If you have 2, feel free to use those as well. Same weight, preferably. Pick your poison on the monostructural piece, which will be either a 400-meter run, a 500-meter row, a 25 or 17 for ladies calorie on the assault bike, or a 1,000-meter bike on a regular bike. We're gonna do a 4-minute AMRAP. You're gonna start out, do one of those movements, the run, bike, or row, once the clock starts, and when you get back, the first 4-minute AMRAP, you're gonna do a max rep strict press right there with the dumbbell or kettlebell. If you have 2, use both of them at the same time. Once one side gets tired, switch it over and hit it out for the remainder of that 4 minutes. If you have 2, you'll strict press, put them down, rest, however you want. Once the 4 minutes is up, we'll rest for 2 minutes. Then we're gonna start another 4-minute AMRAP. Same thing here, except we're moving to push press. So you'll do your run, bike, row, whichever. When you come back in, grab your kettlebell or 2 kettlebells or dumbbell, and we're going to dip, drive that weight up over the top, jumping it, and then same thing here. Once we get tired, we'll switch and drive it up over the top. Again, if you have 2 dumbbells or kettlebells, use them. And then we'll rest 2 minutes at the end of that and start one last 4-minute. And that's gonna be with a push jerk, dip, drop underneath it. Make sure you're dropping underneath the weight as we get comfortable with that. For total number of reps, you're gonna have to keep track of your reps here. Let me grab a kettlebell. Sorry to step out of the screen. On any of these, you'll strict press it over the top, or you can push press and then push jerk. Pretty simple. We'll keep it in the crook of our elbow. And lastly, for our folks with no weights or equipment, we do have something for you. We're gonna be doing 3 different variants of push-ups. So same format, you're gonna do a 4-minute AMRAP of a run, bike, or row, and then when you come back in, you'll hit max rep push-ups. For the first round, we're gonna do an incline push-up, an elevated push-up off of a box, a chair, something that you can make use of. Rest 2 minutes. Then on the next 4-minute AMRAP, we will run, bike, or row. And then we're gonna do normal push-ups from the ground. Rest 2 minutes. 4-minute AMRAP, run, bike, row. And then we're gonna do inclined push-ups here. Now, here's the kicker. If you're new to this, or if push-ups are tough for you, let's just do 3 separate AMRAPs of regular push-ups on the ground. You can go down to your knees for an assisted push-up, or you can find yourself something elevated if push-ups are super tough for you and use that elevated angle to make them a little bit easier to maximize your reps, especially if you're new to this. Once we finish that, it's been a hard couple days. Don't worry about any core homework. There will be an option up there for you. It's always optional either way. Make sure you hit the HomeWOD for the day or spend some time stretching. It doesn't have to be HomeWOD. If you have GoWOD, use that, but try to stretch out a little bit. And lastly, let's enjoy this day. It's a great Wednesday. I hope you'll have fun with this. Be sure to post your scores and your times into the SugarWOD app. Let's get after it.